I think what's clear, and I'm gonna shout at my dad in this as well, and I think any of the sort of slightly older generation that lived through the 70s. And my dad said, at COVID time, because of what the Tories were doing to taxation in the UK. And he said, we're heading towards the 70s again, where you essentially have a communist government that has no concept of growth, no understanding of how the free market works, and we will end up stagnating and destroying the economy. And I was kind of like, I mean, taxes like pretty hard, like pretty high, but like there's still opportunity in business and stuff. But every year, year on year on year, and now Labour coming in just expediting it, you can quite quickly see that business is going to kind of come to a halt. Like very few businesses are going to be able to survive in the UK in this economic environment, and property development, especially with all of the new regulations of the fire safety and the high-rise building stuff, and now these new taxations, planning being absolutely arduous. It is like it does feel like the country is just coming to a halt because of what is essentially a communist government, which is fucking wild. It's wild how much they can destroy things. I mean, what do you think, Stu?
To me, it feels like they're just giving it another 5 minutes full. It's like the easiest thing they can do is just slap another tax on a problem. It's like put another band-aid on it. It's like it's a big issue that's happened 30 years ago, and it is a massive issue. The cladding, high rises need sorting out, but the government will basically go, "Yeah, we've messed up. We need to fix it. Let's just tax the future." It's just putting more burden on everyone else in the future, and it's going to massively affect the housing supply. Yeah, like Jack said, no big house builders are doing anything. They sit on the land. They haven't got to do anything. They'll wait for this market to pass. Whilst all the SMEs who sort of try and earn a living and are trying to do something good for their local communities are just getting absolutely slaughtered. To be honest, it's just another reason why I'm just not actively looking to buy at the minute. I just want to let this pass and just let this market turn because it's horrible.
One of the benefits to having a Labour government should be pro-build.
Yeah, where
This
is it?
is, it's nonsense. So I was saying 6 years ago, the market that we operate in is like death by a thousand cuts. Like this doesn't really move the needle that much. It's just another cut. It's just a thousandth and oneth cut.
Well, properties are instantly going to become another 5 grand more than where they were, just to try and just to stay still, to just tread water. There's a 3 grand cost plus all the legals plus everything else you have to. It's a 5 grand increase on every unit that's being built for what? To pay for previous. They've already sucked the profits. All the institutions, all the companies that built these high rises have sucked their profits out. That's long gone, and now the future builds are carrying the burden of all and how long it will be a temporary tax and it will go on indefinitely, like they do all the other taxes. It's just another major issue, and it's so shallow, short-sighted to just throw more tax on top of tax. Which obviously I know we're going to come on to. What's his name? Daniel Priestley has said, but yeah, I mean he nailed it on his little video. So yeah, might be worth watching that in a bit.
Or what do you think? Like, who does the government? Like, I've just googled this as well to get a better understanding of this. But who does the government consult when they go to think, oh yeah, let's add some more tax? And when you look at it, the government consults, um, the Ministry of Housing, communities and local government, and then what they say is like targeted professionals about the calculation methodology. And I'm going like, well, did you actually industry developers? Like, did you look at a range of SMEs and larger developers and get their feedback on the impacts of? Because all you got to do is speak to just a couple, and they'll go, "Well, if you do that, then here's what's going to happen. You're not going to build more housing. So, like, you say you're going to build more housing, but then you're literally making it hard. Like, this government is just so incompetent. Like, I just don't understand how they're not going to get the 3.4 billion. Obviously, the whole concept of them raising more money from the taxpayer is not going to happen because there's going to be less building. It's like stupid, right? Or they deliberately are trying to destroy us, which is kind of what Daniel Priestley's talking about. It's gone so far where it's like they want this to happen. They almost want SME developers and just development and the private sector to just be squandered. That's at least what it feels like.
So let's look at the actual reason behind this particular, because we've moaned about the tax position in the government, but if we're actually trying to look at what they're trying to achieve with this, is they're trying to enforce better built dwellings in the UK by, I guess, building a a pot that's being paid for by the developers that can then help manage ensuring building quality is improved, why the fuck isn't that 3.4 billion being a grant back to developers to have a better process to build better houses, you know, maybe supporting warranties or supporting quality of build? How can you get someone to improve something by taking from them?
The motivation's just not there. Like, you know, look at all the stealth taxes, and even if you do succeed and you do build and buy the perfect site and you build it out and you make the best profit, you're then hit with all these taxes at the end. It's just like, fucking, what is the point? They just, in every angle, every way you turn, you're getting hit.
Yeah, I don't mind tax at the end because that to me is your, you know, your net margin and you've made a profit. I fucking hate tax at the beginning because you don't know if you're going to make a profit.
Well, and fiscal drag, so everything going up over time, you know, all the materials, you know, 26% increase in sheet material, gypsum's going up, everything's going up. That's all through inflation and all through fiscal drag. It's basically we're paying so much more all the way through the journey to then get taxed at the end as well is just painful.
I'm actually less concerned about tax at the end because you've got a provable profit. You know, let me run a scenario. Let's say you're delivering a £1 million GDV site. You're set to make a 10% margin, and you deliver the site successfully, and you've made your 10%. So let's say you're a regular tax rate taxpayer, so you pay 19% of that 100k, and that goes off, and you keep your markup, and then you go and do other things. Now let's rerun that scenario with new taxation at the beginning of the site, and you're getting taxed all the way through, but you don't know, you might be 100 in the hole by the end of it. That's a strategic risk if you're a business decision, if you're taking that project on to you know, for the ups or the downs. But if you're getting taxed at the beginning, how can you warrant that there is going to be a margin? So I actually had this with Reading Borough Council. They did we had a Section 106 agreement that had to be agreed, and they wanted a percentage of GDV, and I was like, well, I don't know where my costs are going to land. So I managed to negotiate that I gave them a percentage of the net margin because that is a fair share. You know, I'm basically going, if I make £1, you can have 50p, but I'm not going, you can have a percentage of the end value, because if we hit the labor cost inflation or the cost inflation, or the market dips, which it has, both have happened, so that margin's finer, they're already out.
Yeah,
But Dorian Payne is in.
Oh, DP
DP to the DC.
Wagwan.
Hello, mate. Welcome to the.
What does your badge say?
Elidor Foundation.
Oh,
nice.
Great time to pitch.
Good pitch.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So the Elidor Foundation is a not-for-profit registered charity founded by myself and my wife, Elizabeth, to help the children of the next generation develop entrepreneurial skills, life skills, bigger picture thinking, and realize that the world out there is for them to build on, not just be a part of within someone else's four walls. Break them down, build your own.
Let me guess, you're the director of the entrepreneurship side and your wife is director of the life skills side.
Correct, Jack. How would you ever guess?
Let me also guess that Eldor is both of your names shortened and then put together cleverly.
He's on a roll. He is on a roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Someone get him on the chase.
Yeah.